So row 1 is a loop with 6 stitches. There's 2 different ways you can make this loop. There's one called the magic ring, that's the one I prefer, and there's also one called the adjustable loop chain 2 method. And I have 2 videos here on YouTube that will show you each of those methods, and I'll put those links in the description box below. So I'll show you how I do the magic ring method, and then if you need further help with that, you can visit one of those links below. So let's do the magic ring. And I hold the yarn tail between my pinky and my thumb, and then the working yarn between my pinky and the thumb. Now I'm going to go through, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, and pull through. And that just created the slip knot. Now I put 6 stitches inside this loop. These 2 strings here, I'm going to put 6 stitches inside there. So I go through the loop, yarn over and pull through, yarn over and pull through 6 times. Through the loop, yarn over, pull through. Through the loop, yarn over, pull through. There was 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then I have to close up this loop, so I choose one of these strings here. I'm going to hold this part with my finger and my thumb, and then to pull one of the strings. That one won't pull, so that's not it. I'll pull the other one. And that closes up the loop. Now I'm going to get rid of this string, so I'll pull on the yarn tail. And there was row 1. My loop was 6 stitches. And that was the magic ring method. If this one doesn't work for you, try the chain 2 method, and you'll find that link in the description box below. So now we can count our stitches by pulling out that last stitch so we don't lose it, and just leave it hanging. And the first stitch to count is underneath this big loop. And it looks like a V. That's a stitch right there. And there's 2 loops in that stitch. And it looks like the V. So you count those V's. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. There's a 6th one right there. And the first one underneath this big loop. Now this yarn tail here, you can work it into the second row just by holding along the edge and crocheting around it. Or we can just leave it hanging. We can also cut it up a bit shorter if it's in the way. You never want to cut it too short. You never want to cut it too short because this yarn tail could eventually work itself free and you get a hole in your stuffy. So we're just going to leave it hanging and we'll work around it. Row 2 is 2 half double crochets in each one of these 6 stitches. When you do a half double crochet, you yarn over before going in. There's our first stitch to go into right there. When we go through, we want to make sure we're going through both loops of that stitch. We're going to yarn over and then go in. Now you have 3 loops, yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. And there was a half double crochet in the first stitch. Now we're going to go back in the same stitch and do the same thing. And there was 2. Now we'll do the same thing into the next stitch, yarn over, go through. Now back into the same stitch where it is in and put another half double crochet. Now into the third, yarn over. There was 1, yarn over, back into the same stitch where it is in, and there's 2. Now into the 4th, yarn over. There was 1, back into the 4th, and there was 2. Into the 5th stitch now, yarn over. Yarn over and back in. Now into the 6th, yarn over and back into the 6th. Now we're finished row 2, and now we have 12 stitches around. We're going to add a marker. I always just use a piece of yarn of a different color for my marker. I find it easy to put in and quick to move. but you can use any stitch marker you want. I'm just going to go through that last stitch we just put in, pick up our marker, pull it through. Just pull one of the yarn tails through and leave it hanging like that. Row 3 is 2 half double crochets in each one of those 12 stitches. When you go through the stitch, make sure that you're going underneath those 2 loops and not down below. So yarn over, and there was one, yarn over, in the same stitch, and put our second one. Now to the second stitch after that, yarn over, yarn over and back into the same stitch, and there was 2. Yarn over, back in the same stitch. So we're just going to keep repeating that. 2 half double crochets in each one of those stitches. When you land on the marker, you should be putting in 2 half double crochets. I'll continue on with the pattern. I'll meet you back here when we land on that marker. I'll finish row 3. I've moved my marker and now we have 24 stitches around. Remember, you can do a stitch count. Just pull out your last stitch so don't lose it. And the first stitch to count is that V underneath this big loop. Count all those V's all the way around. Last one to count is right here. Row 4 is 1 half double crochet in the first, then 2 half double crochets into the second stitch. Then we're going to repeat that. 1 half double crochet, 2 half double crochets, 1 half double crochet, 2 half double crochets, and we're going to repeat all the way around. When we land on this marker, we'll be putting in 2 half double crochets. I'll do the first 2 sets with you and then I'll leave you on your own. Remember to yarn over, 1 half double crochet into the first, and then 2 half double crochets into the second stitch. Now we're going to repeat that. 1 half double crochet, then 2 half double crochets. Now keep repeating that sequence. 1 half double crochet, then 2 half double crochets into the second. 1, 2, 1, 2, all the way around. Remember, when you land on the marker, you'll be putting in 2 half double crochets. I'll continue with the pattern. I'll meet you back here when we land on the marker. At the end of row 4, now we have 36 stitches around. Row 5 is 1 half double crochet in the next 5 stitches, then 2 half double crochets into the 6th. Repeat all the way around, and when you land on the marker, you should be putting in 2 half double crochets. So I'll do the first set with you, and then I'll leave you on your own. Remember to yarn over, going through. There was 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And now 2 half double crochets into the 6th stitch. There's 1 and 2. And now you're going to repeat that sequence. 1 half double crochet in the next 5 stitches, then 2 half double crochets into the 6th, and keep repeating, and we'll meet back here when you land on the marker. I'll finish row 5, and now we have 42 stitches around. You can see it's starting to flip up on itself. So just where that starting yarn tail is coming out, push that inward, so you're always working on the right side. Row 6 is 1 half double crochet in the next 6 stitches, and then 2 half double crochets into the 7th, and then repeat all the way around. When you land on the marker, you should be putting in 2 half double crochets. So 1 in the first, second, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth, and now 2 half double crochets into the 7th. And you're going to repeat that sequence, 1 in the next 6, and then 2 into the 7th. When you land on the marker, you'll be putting in 2 half double crochets. So I'll continue with the pattern. I'll meet you back here when we land on the marker. I'll finish row 6, and now we have 48 stitches around. Row 7 is 1 half double crochet in the next 7 stitches, and then 2 half double crochets into the 8th, and then repeat that all the way around. When you land on the marker, you'll be putting in 2 half double crochets. So 1 in the first, second, third, 1 in the fourth, 1 in the fifth, 1 in the sixth, and 1 in the seventh, and now 2 half double crochets into the 8th stitch. And now you repeat that sequence, 1 in the next 7, 2 in the 8th, repeat all the way around. When you land on the marker, you'll be putting in 2 half double crochets. I'll continue on with the pattern. I'll meet you back here when we land on the marker. I'll finish row 7, and now we have 54 stitches around. Your piece is probably folding up like this. You can just stop and fold it right side. This is the wrong side. This is the right side. So where that starting yarn tail is coming out of is always pushed inward. Row 8 is 1 half double crochet in the next 27 stitches, and then 1 single crochet in the next 27 stitches. So that's half and half. So 1 half double crochet in the next 27 stitches. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. So I just finished putting in my 27th half double crochet, and you can see the piece is wanting to naturally fold upwards. So you just fold it right side. And now we're going to finish off this row with 1 single crochet in the next 27 stitches. When you land on the marker, you should be putting in 1 single crochet. I'll continue out the pattern. I'll meet you here when we land on the marker. I'll finish row 8, and we should still have 54 stitches around. Rows 9 through 15, we're going to repeat row 8. So 1 half double crochet in the next 27, and then 1 single crochet in the next 27. Every time you land on the marker, you should be putting in 1 single crochet. Every time you land on this marker, you should put a notch on your notepad, and when you have 7 notches, we'll meet back here. So 1 half double crochet in the next 27, and then 1 single crochet in the next 27. And we're going to do that for 7 rows. I'll meet you back here at the end of row 15. I'll finish row 15, and this is the part where we did the half double crochets, and the back side is where we did the single crochets, and you can see the difference. Row 16 is 1 single crochet in the next 3 stitches. There's 1, 2, and 3, and then 1 half double crochet in the next 21 stitches. There's 1, 2, 3, and 21. And now 1 single crochet in the next 30 stitches. So back to single crochets again for the next 30 stitches. When you land on the marker, you should be putting in 1 single crochet. I'll finish row 16, and we still have 54 stitches around. I've moved my marker. It's very important to move your marker at the end of every row. Row 17 is 1 single crochet in the next 4 stitches. So 1 single crochet in the next 4. That was 2, 3, and 4. Then 1 half double crochet in the next 18 stitches. So yarn over and go in. 1, 2, 3, and 18. Now we're going to repeat this sequence to the marker. 1 single crochet in the next 6 stitches, then crochet 2 together, and repeat until you reach the marker. When you reach the marker, you should be crocheting 2 stitches together. So 1 single crochet in the next 6. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Then crochet the next 2 stitches together. 1 and 2. Now we're going to repeat that, 1 in the next 6, and then 2 together, and keep repeating. We'll meet back here when we land on the marker. Alright, all finished row 17, and now we have 50 stitches around. Row 18, we're going to work in single crochets only. We're going to put 1 single crochet in the next 8 stitches, and then crochet 2 together and repeat all the way around. And when you land on the marker, you should be crocheting 2 stitches together. So there's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, and then crochet the next 2 stitches together. Now we're going to repeat that sequence, 1 in the next 8, then 2 together all the way around, and we'll meet back here when we land on the marker. I'll finish row 18, and then we have 45 stitches around. And I forgot to mention that if you're starting to see gaps in your work when you crochet 2 together, crochet in the front loops only when you crochet 2 together. So when you're crocheting 2 together, you just go through the front loops, just like so. And that should eliminate the gaps. Row 19 is 1 single crochet in the next 5 stitches. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then 1 half double crochet in the next 15 stitches. 1, 2, and 15. And now 1 single crochet in the next 25 stitches. When you land on the marker, you should be putting in 1 single crochet. I'll continue on with the pattern. I'll meet you back here when we land on the marker. I'll finish row 19, and I've moved my marker. So row 20 is 1 single crochet in the next 3 stitches, and then crochet 2 together. We're going to repeat that sequence 5 times. So that's working over 25 stitches, and then we're going to put 1 single crochet in the next 20 stitches. So what we can do, instead of counting in our head how many times we do this first part of the pattern, we can count out the 25th stitch from the marker and mark it off. So let's do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, and 25. So let's mark that off. Now we'll do the first part of this row, which is 1 single crochet in the next 3 stitches, and then 2 together, and then repeat that until we land on the first marker. When we land on the first marker, we should be crocheting 2 stitches together. So 1 in the first 3, that's 2, 3, and then 2 together. And now repeat that, and keep repeating till we land on that first marker. Okay, that completes that part of the row. Now we'll put 1 single crochet in the next 20 stitches. When we land on the second marker, we should be putting in 1 single crochet. I'll finish row 20. I've moved my marker, and now we have 40 stitches around. Now we're going to work in single crochets again. 1 single crochet in the next 8 stitches, and then 2 together, and repeat to the marker. When you land on the marker, you should be crocheting 2 stitches together. So I'll continue on with this part of the pattern. I'll meet you back here when we land on the marker. 1 single crochet in the next 8, then 2 together, and repeat. I'll finish row 21, and now we have 36 stitches around. Row 22 is 1 single crochet in the next 6 stitches. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then 1 half double crochet in the next 12. That's 1, 2, 3, and 12. And now one single crochet in the next 18 stitches. When you land on the marker, you should be putting in one single crochet. So one in the next 18 stitches. I'll finish row 22, and we still have 36 stitches around. Row 23, we're going to repeat the last row. One single crochet in the next 6, then one half double crochet in the next 12, and then one single crochet in the next 18 stitches. When you land on the marker, you should be putting in one single crochet. So I'll continue on this part of the pattern. I'll meet you back here when we land on the marker. I'll finish row 23. I've moved my marker. Row 24 is one single crochet in the next 4 stitches, and then crochet 2 together. Repeat all the way around. When you land on the marker, you should be crocheting 2 stitches together. So one single crochet in the next 4. That was 2, 3, and 4, and then crochet 2 together. Now repeat that sequence all the way around, and we'll meet back here when we land on the marker. I'll finish row 24, and now we have 30 stitches around. Row 25 is one single crochet in each one of those 30 stitches. So I'll continue on with this part of the pattern. I'll meet you back here when we land on the marker. When you land on the marker, you should be putting in one single crochet. I'll finish row 25. I'm going to pull out my last stitch so I don't lose it and just leave it hanging, and now I'm going to stuff the body. So just go ahead and put lots of stuffing in there. It's going to eat up lots of stuffing. And remember, the majority of the single crochets, the part where we did single crochets, that's the back of the dragon, and the part where we did half double crochets is the belly of the dragon. Where we put the half double crochets in, it's going to be more relaxed, and you'll be able to stick more stuffing in that area. And we can also stick more stuffing in over the next few rows as well. So we just want to get the majority in there. You can see I put lots of stuffing in there. Okay, so it pretty much just looks like a ball, but I did stick more in the belly area and kind of try to shape it as I stuffed the belly. Okay, so you can see the belly is sticking out quite a bit more than this part here. So you can just try to shape it as you're putting the stuffing in there. And just look at the pictures of the dragon as you're putting the stuffing in there, and that'll help as well. So the back end is all single crochets, the back of the dragon, and the front of the dragon, his fat belly, is all half double crochet. Okay, we can continue on. We'll put the marker in, and we can stuff more in after as well. Row 26 is one single crochet in the next 8 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Then one half double crochet in the next 10 stitches. So 1, 2, and 10. And now one single crochet in the next 12 stitches. So when you land on the marker, you should be putting in one single crochet. I'll continue on with the pattern. I'll meet you back here when we land on the marker. I'll finish row 26, and we still have 30 stitches around. Rows 27 through 29, we're going to repeat row 26 for 3 rows. So one single crochet in the next 8 stitches, one half double crochet in the next 10, and then one single crochet in the next 12. You're going to do that for 3 rows. Remember to move your marker at the end of every row, And it would be a good idea to put the pattern right beside you and read that sequence if you can't remember it in your head. So I'll continue on with the pattern. I'll meet you back here at the end of row 29. I'll finish row 29. I've moved my marker. Row 30, we're going to work in single crochets again. One single crochet in the next 3 stitches, and then 2 together, and repeat all the way to the marker. When you land on the marker, you should be crocheting 2 stitches together. That was 1, 2, 3, and then 2 together. And repeat that, 1 in the next 3, then 2 together, all the way around, and we'll meet back here on the marker. I'll finish row 30, and now we have 24 stitches around. Row 31 is 1 single crocheted each one of those 24 stitches for 1 row. So I'll continue on with the pattern. I'll meet you back here when we land on the marker. When you land on the marker, you should be putting in 1 single crochet. I'll finish row 31. Row 32 is 1 single crochet in the next 4 stitches, and then crochet 2 together, and repeat all the way around. When we land on the marker, you should be crocheting 2 stitches together. So 1 in the next 4, and then 2 stitches together. And I'll repeat that sequence, and we'll meet back here when we land on the marker. I'll finish row 32, and now we have 20 stitches around. Row 33 is 1 single crochet in the next 6 stitches, then 1 half double crochet in the next 8, then 1 single crochet in the next 6 stitches. So 1 in the next 6, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and now 1 half double crochet in the next 8 stitches. 1, 2, and 8, and now 1 single crochet in the next 6 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Move the marker. So we finished row 33, and we still have 20 stitches around. The row 34 is the opposite of the last row, where we're going to put 1 half double crochet in the next 6 stitches. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now we'll put 1 single crochet in the next 8 stitches. 1, 2, 7, and 8. And now 1 half double crochet in the next 6 stitches. 1, and last one's going to land on the marker, so we'll pull it out, and 6. The piece is getting a little bit tall, so it's a bit more awkward to work on in front of the camera. And that finishes row 34, and we still have 20 stitches around. Make sure to move your marker every time you finish a row. Row 35, we're going to repeat the last row. 1 half double crochet in the next 6 stitches, 1 single crochet in the next 8, then 1 half double crochet in the last 6 stitches. When you land on the marker, you should be putting in 1 half double crochet. So I'll continue on with the pattern. I'll meet you back here when we land on the marker. All finished row 35. Row 36, we're going to work this row together. We're going to put 1 half double crochet in the next 6 stitches. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And remember, if I'm going too fast for this row, you can pause the video and catch up. Now 1 single crochet in the next 2 stitches. 1 and 2. Then crochet 2 together twice. There was once, and twice. Then 1 single crochet in the next 4 stitches. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And now 1 half double crochet in the next 4 stitches. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And that completes row 36, and now we have 18 stitches around. Row 37 is 1 half double crochet in the next 7 stitches, then 1 single crochet in the next 8, then 1 half double crochet in the next 3 stitches. I'll continue on with the pattern. I'll meet you back here when we land on the marker. When you land on the marker, you should be putting in 1 half double crochet. So I'll finish row 37. Now we're going to stop and stuff. So just pull out your last stitch and leave it hanging. Pull it out, make it a big loop so you don't lose it when you stuff the neck part. So you can see without even the stuffing that there's a bit of a shape in the front there. Remember the half double crochets is the front of the dragon, and up here is the front. So he's getting a shape like this. We want to make sure when we put the stuffing in that we take advantage of this space in here and stick lots of stuffing in. And when we get stuffing, make sure to put it all down in this area as well. And you might need a stuffing stick. A back end of a pencil works well too. I'll just push it down and I think that's good right about there. Now we'll continue on. We'll add our marker. Now we're going to increase the neck area for more shape. We're going to put 2 half double crochets in the next 5 stitches. That's 1 and 2 into the first, and 2 into the second, and 2 into the third, two into the fourth, and 2 half double crochets into the fifth. Now 1 half double crochet in the next 2 stitches, one single crochet in the next 2 stitches, 1, 2, now crochet 2 together, then 1 single crochet in the next 7 stitches, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Move that marker. I'll finish row 38, and now we have 22 stitches around. It's getting harder and harder for me to keep this dragon in view here, so I'm going to do my best. A little bit awkward. Row 39 is 1 half double crochet in the next 13 stitches, so I'm going to speed this part up, and I'll meet you back here when I land on that 13th stitch. There's 1, 2, and 13. One single crochet in the next 2 stitches, 1 and 2, then crochet 2 together twice, There's once and twice, and 1 single crochet in the next 3 stitches. 1, 2, and 3. That finishes row 39, and now we're back down to 20 stitches. Move that marker. Row 40 is 1 half double crochet in the next 10 stitches, then 1 single crochet in the next 10 stitches. When you land on the marker, you should be putting in 1 single crochet. So I'll continue on with the pattern. I'll meet you back here when we land on the marker. I'll finish row 40, row 41 and 42. We're going to repeat row 40. 1 half double crochet in the next 10 stitches, then 1 single crochet in the next 10 stitches. We're going to repeat that for 2 rows. Each time you land on the marker, you should be putting in 1 single crochet. So I'll continue on with the pattern. I'll meet you back here at the end of row 42. I'll finish row 42. Row 43, we're going to work in single crochets only. We're going to put 1 single crochet in the next 8 stitches and then crochet 2 together. And repeat that sequence all around until you land on the marker. When you land on the marker, you should be crocheting 2 stitches together. So I'll continue on with this part of the pattern. I'll meet you back here when we land on the marker. I'll finish row 43, and now we're down to 18 stitches. We're going to stop and stuff the neck now. Just pull out your last stitch and leave it hanging so you don't lose it. And you can see the shape of this dragon. This is the back of the neck now. This is the belly, the front, and this is the back of the neck, the part that curves up. And when we stuff, we're going to keep that shape in mind as we're stuffing. It'll take lots of stuffing. That didn't take much shaping as I stuffed it. Now we can stuff more in there after we finish the next few rows. So let's add our marker now. Now rows 44 to 47 is 1 single crochet in each one of those 18 stitches for 4 rows. When you go around the first couple rows, just make sure you're holding the stuffing down and out of the way so you don't pull it through the stitches. 1 single crochet in each one of those 18 stitches for 4 rows. Remember each time you land on the marker to move the marker. I'll continue on with the pattern. I'll meet you back here at the end of row 47. I'll finished row 47, and I've actually stopped and put more stuffing in. If you notice that it's looking a little bit wonky here, you can adjust the stuffing just by pushing it in and pulling down. And you can move that stuffing around in there. And now you'll have a little bit of a gap inside, but that's okay. You can do the push it down from this side. And I'll show you what happens here. Push it down. Try to shape it as much as you can. If you look at pictures of the dragon's body, you'll get a better idea. So this is the back end, and this is the tummy area. We want a nice big fat tummy. And then the front of the neck, this is where the arms go. And then the back of the neck, where it kind of looks down. So we want to keep that shape. So we can adjust that stuffing in there, but we're going to need to shove that stuffing down. So you just pushed all that stuffing downwards. That's what I was saying. It was a little bit of a funny thing to stuff. I did my best to shape it with the yarn, but it is something you have to have an eye for. Like if you study the pictures, you'll have a better idea the shape that you want and how you can adjust the stuffing to enhance that shape. So now I'm going to need to put more stuffing in there. And always take your time. There's no rush. If you're getting frustrated at all, just put it away for a while and then come back to it when you're feeling refreshed. Amigurumi always turns out better when you take your time and when you're not frustrated. And believe me, I understand the frustration. I've been there myself when I first was learning how to crochet, and I didn't understand what people were saying or explaining in their patterns, and sometimes I would just leave a pattern. I would just get so frustrated, leave it, and throw the thing out before I even finished it. So I totally understand. That's why I do these videos, and I try to explain everything as I go along, because I don't want you to get frustrated and give up. The best thing to do when you're frustrated is just take a break. There we go. So I put more stuffing in there. Filled them up, and if I needed to, I can always adjust again. And remember, if you're seeing lots of stuffing through the front part of the tummy area, don't worry about that, because we're going to be putting a tummy patch over this whole area. And that's also going to change the shape a little bit as well. Okay, and if the neck looks crooked, just put it back into shape. Yarn is very adjustable. There we go. Now we can carry on. So now we're working in single crochets only right to the end of the pattern. Row 48 is 1 single crochet in the next 4 stitches, then 2 together, and repeat around. When you land on the marker, you should be crocheting 2 stitches together. So I'll continue on this part of the pattern. I'll meet you back here when we land on the marker. And again, it's going to be a little bit awkward to crochet on such a tall amigurumi, so just take your time. Alright, I'm popped in with a finished dragon here because when I was editing my clips, row 49 had no audio, so I have to redo this clip for row 49. So we're finished row 48. You now have 15 stitches around. Row 49 is 1 single crochet in each one of those 15 stitches for 1 row. So again, I'll continue on with the pattern. I'll meet you back here at the end of row 49. I'll finish row 49, and we are going to do the last row of this dragon's body. Yahoo! Row 50 is 1 single crochet in the next 3 stitches, and then crochet 2 together. Repeat all the way around. When you land on the marker, you should be crocheting 2 stitches together. So we'll just do this row together. 1, 2, 3, and crochet 2 together. Now repeating that. 1, 2, very awkward here. 3, and crochet 2 together. And last time. 1, 2, 3, and that's going to land on the marker when I crochet 2 together, so I'll pull it out and crochet 2 together. And there we go, we're finished the body. Now we can just slip stitch the next stitch and finish off. Go in, grab your yarn, pull it through. Instead of yarning over, just pull the first loop through the second loop. When you finish off, leave a bit of a tail to sew the head to the body. So we're going to use this here to sew the head and the body together. Now we can top up that stuffing. And you want to make sure that this is stuffed firmly at the top, because when the head sits on there, you don't want it to be floppy. So you want to make sure you fill up the entire space with stuffing. That's what you call stuffing it firmly. On one of my dragons, I put wires inside. Not a good idea to use wires if this is going to a small child, of course, but there is that option as well. The head does pose quite nicely without the wire in it, so that's why I didn't bother showing that on film, because you really don't need the wire, but if your yarn is not cooperating, you might want to stick a wire in there. There we go. that's the end of this tutorial. I hope you found it helpful. If you're still struggling with the basic stitches, if you're still struggling with single crochet and half double crochet, then go on to make the head next or the tail next. Either one of those videos, and I go a lot slower as I'm making the head and the tail, and I explain a lot more, and they're not so difficult. So if you need further help with the basic stitches, then use the head and the tail videos next.